Tonight, an investigation is underway after a shooting in Duluth Central Hillside sent one person to the hospital. And addressing a need, a new child care facility is opening in downtown Duluth as a local company expands their roots. And good news for the local economy. 2 mines are set to fire up operations after months of being idled due to the pandemic.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Mack. Kristen is on assignment tonight. Thanks for joining us. A man is recovering from a gunshot wound tonight after police say he was shot this morning. It happened in the Central Hillside neighborhood near Harbor Highlands. CBS 3's Emma Quinn joins us live from the scene. Emma, you've been out there for most of the day. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Tony, so while the scene has been cleared, we still don't know many details, but what we do know is that Duluth Police Department arrived to the area just before noon, and when they did arrive, they found a victim who appeared to have 2 gunshot wounds. Now, a witness that I spoke to earlier today said she was inside her home with the door open, and that's when she heard what sounded like firecrackers going off. She said she's never heard gunshots before, and when she came outside, she saw a police presence, and she knew something else had happened.
I went up the steps there. And the little fella who was sitting on his porch, I think, when what happened. So the ambulance came and took him away, and bloody scene. His cousins or whomever had blood on them too.
Copeland says she's lived in the neighborhood since 2011 and hasn't dealt with anything like this before. There was another shooting in the area back in December, and she says it scares her to know that one of her neighbors has been hurt. Now, Duluth police do not believe that the victim's injuries are life-threatening, and at this time, their name hasn't been released. And as of right now, Tony, this incident is still under investigation.
Something we'll certainly be following up on as we learn more details. CBS 3's Emma Quinn live for us tonight. Thanks, Emma. New at 6, police have seized nearly 180 grams of meth on the Iron Range, all in just 3 days. Hibbing police say they found the meth and 2.5 grams of heroin during traffic stops. During the first stop on July 27th, police found meth and heroin inside a backpack the driver of the car was carrying. In a separate incident on July 30th, officers located about 125 grams of meth from a vehicle near the Maple Hill Community Center. All suspects involved were arrested and charges are pending. If you're one of the thousands of people who went to the rodeo in Effie last weekend, you might have been exposed to coronavirus. Health officials say a person who attended the rodeo started experiencing symptoms afterwards and then tested positive. They determined the person was contagious when they were at the event. There's no way to know how many people were exposed. Health officials are asking everyone who went to monitor for symptoms. The state had asked the organizer to limit the number of people who attended the rodeo. Instead, he waived the ticket fee. Thousands came out to protest the state's regulations designed to prevent the spread of the virus. Despite the fact that the event was branded as a protest, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is now suing the organizer for violating the state's crowd size rules and taking no steps to prevent the spread of COVID. Meanwhile, health officials are investigating a COVID outbreak at a camp in Ashland County, Wisconsin. 14 confirmed cases have been connected to Camp Eagle Ridge in Mellon. That's about a half-hour south of Ashland. Health experts say most of the cases are among camp staff, and they're working with the county to stop any further spread. Campers and staff are said to have had little interaction with the community. All campers returned home as soon as the outbreak was identified. Dave's here for our first look at the weather tonight. Dave, hot today, but that's not a sign of things to come, huh?
No, it's a one-day-only event from a warm front attached to a low-pressure system whose cold front is already starting to cut into northwestern Minnesota and creating a good chance for showers and storms. First tonight, we will have clouds increase. Then after midnight comes the chance for showers and storms. So let's take a live look at what's going on towards Jacobson, eyeing off towards the west, and the clouds are trying to thicken up a little bit. Still a fair amount of blue sky coming across, though. So I think this evening is going to be pleasant. It's after midnight when the rain chance starts to come around towards our region. And then 50 to 70% chance it'll last until early Sunday morning. And as it goes, some towns could get about a quarter to a half inch worth of rain. Other towns a hair more, other towns a hair less, but that's the general range there. And here's the general forecast for our weekend. Tonight, those clouds get thicker. Then Saturday is the rain chance, and once that cold front that stirs up the rain passes by on Sunday, we clear up, but we also cool down, cooler than normal after that long warm spell. I'll talk about how persistent this will be coming up just a little bit later here in the news.
Thanks, Dave. As school districts work to come out with their fall learning plan, tech companies are keeping busy as some of the schooling will have to be done remotely. CBS 3's Leanne Valdez spoke with a tech expert about what parents need to know before their next shopping trip.
Parents, be prepared to add a couple of extra items onto your child's school supply list. And that's because remote learning may be here to stay. IT Director Travis Elm with DiscoverPC.net says parents need to ask themselves one simple question. What will my child be doing while distance learning? And go from there. You can do that by getting a hold of the school and ask if they provide or have any devices children can rent out. If your child needs to print, make sure you have a printer and ink. Good internet also makes a difference. Call your provider to make sure. You could also invest in some mobile hotspots. Decent webcams are important too. Make sure your child can see and hear their teacher clearly. Next, make sure your child has a quiet spot to work in, away from distraction.
Finding a room in the house that is, quiet and is able so that you can hear. And again, it's kind of the headset or earbud, good webcam, and then having that noise isolation so you're not having the rest of the family, all that noise, so that they can actually listen to what the teacher's saying.
Elm also says that there is some software parents can download or purchase that limits screen time and make sure the children are on the exact sites they need to be on.
Thanks, Leanne. And meanwhile, a new child care facility is opening in downtown Duluth. This will be the Mesabi Preschool Academy's second location. The first is in Proctor. The new facility was made possible by funding from the 1200 Funds Child Care Incentive Program. Last year, the nonprofit announced its plan to issue $500,000 to licensed child care providers in Duluth. The center's owner says they are up for the challenge to provide accessible child care during unprecedented times. You won't have to pay to apply to a local college next month. The University of Wisconsin-Superior announced today they're waiving application fees for the month of August. University leaders say they hope the move will help prospective students facing financial challenges during the pandemic. North Shore Mining in Babbitt and Silver Bay are expected to restart next week. The Cliff facilities idled this past spring due to the economic impacts of the coronavirus. Cleveland Cliff's CEO says the restart coincides with the comeback of the big three automakers, that'd be General Motors, Ford, and Fiat Chrysler. Their shutdowns forced Cliffs to lay off 470 of its 570 employees in April. Meanwhile, U.S. Steel's Keetac is still idled with 375 people laid off. Another U.S. Steel mine, Mintac, is almost back to full capacity. 38 employees there are still on a voluntary layoff, but 6 others on involuntary layoffs went back to school this week. And Hibtac production restarted last weekend, putting hundreds of laid-off workers back on the job. Tomorrow marks 1 year since Minnesota's hands-free law went into effect. The law says drivers cannot hold their phone while behind the wheel, but you can still use voice command for things like GPS and texting or calling. In the year since the law took effect, Duluth police say they've handed out 61 citations. The Minnesota State Patrol plans to share its numbers on Monday. You will soon have to be 21 to buy tobacco products in Minnesota. Starting tomorrow, the legal age to buy tobacco will raise from 18 to 21. It's part of the Tobacco 21 initiative, which aims to reduce smoking and to stop tobacco addiction before it starts, especially among teens. State officials and smoke-free organizations say the law is a landmark for the state and is the first step in reversing the youth tobacco epidemic. A Wisconsin college is using its new fire truck to train local firefighters. Wisconsin Indian Head Technical College has added the truck to their fleet equipped with the most up-to-date technology. Today, they made a stop at the Superior Fire Hall. Training is available for all skill levels, ranging from entry-level to advanced classes. Fire Services Director Tim Halber says it gives firefighters the chance to practice necessary skills and real-life scenarios.
What we needed to do was buy a rig that's representative of the fire departments that we service, that we train. So that was what we did. We bought one so that we can teach firefighters from across the 11 counties that we train in.
WITC is also encouraging any of the 109 fire departments in the district to come train on their campus. In just 2.5 hours, the Minnesota State Fair sold 19,000 tickets to its food parade next month. Those tickets went on sale at 10 o'clock this morning, and they are currently sold out. This event will feature 16 vendors that are usually State Fair favorites. People will stay in their cars and drive through the fairgrounds to get their fried food fix since the Great Minnesota Get-Together was forced to cancel this year due to the pandemic. The food parade will be held over 3 weekends starting on August 20th. At this point, it doesn't sound like any more tickets will be made available. A first-of-its-kind tournament is happening in the Superior Municipal Forest right now. The Lake Superior Open Disc Golf Tournament took place today on a newly completed 18-hole course. Many of the holes are on the popular winter cross-country ski trails. To keep group sizes as small as possible, players registered for tee times. Organizers say disc golf is a great way to get people outside. The tournament continues from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow. Visitors are also welcome to come out and watch. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, after puzzling scientists for decades, a breakthrough could explain the origin of the boulders at Stonehenge. We have the details next.
Normal high temp is 77. We spent much of the week right around that mark today. Perked up to 81 degrees, but it's really only today. It'll cool down as early as tomorrow, thanks to a cold front that'll stir up a rain chance, and we'll talk about both counts coming up after this break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live, local, CBS 3.
The bargain shop. When you want new furniture with styles that are nice, and we've made very special buys that are always the right price.
Now in all home furniture stores.
Got a big stop at the bargain shop.
Special news bulletin. Now is the time to replace those drafty, worn-out windows with high-performance replacement windows from Les Grumdahl Window and Siding. They offer windows from Plygem and Great Lakes. These windows are custom fit to enhance your home's appearance, increase your home value, and come in several styles to satisfy any budget. Les Grumdahl is the Northland's local window experts with over 70 years of experience. Call 728-3060 or visit them online at lesgrumdahl.com.
At Super One Foods, you'll find more than just low prices and better choices. You'll find friendly faces like ours, working hard to save you money.
Super One has a tireless commitment to quality and freshness and a goal of delivering 5-star service to every customer to bring the absolute best value to your shopping experience. Check out these specials available at all Super One locations going on now.
So stop into the Super One Foods right in your neighborhood. Super One Foods, serving you low prices and better choices.
Did you know that over 90% of today's top-rated television shows can be watched for free, including live sports, news, and the hottest sitcoms, all for free with TV Freeway Gold? Simply plug it into the back of your TV and start watching all of your favorite HD broadcast television shows free. TV Freeway Gold uses premium gold-plated connectors, giving you high-quality signal transfer so you can watch all your major channels all in high definition, absolutely free, anywhere you want it, even on your boat, so you can cut the cord and get TV the freeway with TV Freeway Gold for only $19.99 for free TV forever. But when you order now, you could get a second TV Freeway Gold for a second TV. Just pay a separate fee, and we'll ship them both to you free. But you have to order now.
Call 1-800-408-5417. That's 1-800-408-5417. Or visit tvfreewaygold.com. Order now.
When you want a great deal on mattresses,
Got a big stop at the bargain shop.
how about a twin mattress for $58 or a queen mattress for just $149?
Gotta make a stop at the bargain shop.
In all home furniture stores.
This summer, freshen up lockdown. Keep your mouth shut. When a new cast moves into a house.
This is Big Brother.
Cut off from the world.
Why would you do that?
Sounds kind of like a quarantine.
What are the odds?
They'll make new friends, alliances, and enemies.
You do what you gotta do to win Big Brother.
And each week, somebody gets voted out.
These houses better watch out.
And it's also streaming live.
Horror, horror, danger, danger.
Big Brother All-Stars, new season, Wednesday at 9/8 Central on CBS.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live, local, CBS 3. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Kurt Belmont is one of my former meteorology students from the Lake Superior College Flight Center. And last night I used one of his pictures when he was out flying around the St. Louis River. Well, this morning it looks like he got out of the plane and into a boat because he took this photo of the sunrise over Lake Superior. But you know what they say, red sky in the morning, sailor take warning. And that's one of those old spouse's tales that actually holds true more often than not. And so we had a red sky this morning, and there's a storm chance coming around perhaps later on tonight. A storm chance that could last through Saturday before it gives way on Sunday back towards sunnier conditions, but cooler ones. So today's visit into the 80s for a lot of towns. Well, I'm not going to say it's the last time we do it this summer here, but it's going to be the last time for about a week. We'll talk more about the full forecast coming up in just a bit, but right now, here are the current conditions at the airport in Duluth. It's 80 degrees. 47% for the relative humidity with a south wind going 8 miles per hour. 29.99 inches of mercury is the air pressure reading. It's high right now, but with that low coming, that's going to go down. Temperatures, 77 in Watersmeet. Ironwood not reporting in at this moment, but it's still 80 in Ashland, 81 in Hayward and Solon Springs, 82 degrees at Bong Airport in Superior. Moose Lake's coming in with 81. We have 73 in Silver Bay, 79 Ely, 81 for Orr, and then 80 straight up from, roughly Buell in through Nashua, Keewatin, and towards Grand Rapids and La Prairie. 83 degrees the current temp in International Falls. Low temps tonight, probably about 55 to 60 for the range of lows. And then tomorrow's highs, thanks to cloud cover and a cold front, back to the run of 75 to 80 rather than 80 to 85, like a lot of places had today. So, low pressure systems coming after several days of higher pressure. The clearer sky we have right now, it'll fade away as clouds increase, and we can see the cold front portion of the low coming our way in northwestern Minnesota, trying to increase the clouds, trying to increase the rain chance. The rain for the moment is fading away, but there's a 50 to 70% chance it'll overcome any obstacles after midnight through tomorrow into early Sunday morning and bring us this rain chance indeed. And it could add up to about a quarter to a half inch before, come Sunday, cooler Canadian high pressure takes over, makes it dry, and sends our highs down towards 70 rather than the normal of 77. Forecast tonight, Minnesota, your low temps, they should go, I'm thinking about 55 to 60 degrees. Clouds are increasing. And in Wisconsin and Michigan, they'll increase there as well with the range of 55 to about 60. For tomorrow, daytime highs, Wisconsin, Michigan. Well, Hayward could crack 80 once again. Everybody else should be in the upper 70s. 50% chance for the showers and storms there. 70% chance for folks in Minnesota with 70s inland. Mid to upper 70s inland and low 70s by the lake. Our extended forecast. The Canadian high pressure takes down temperatures by Sunday, but brings back the sun. And then we ride out a wave like that, perhaps all the way through Thursday. But then by next weekend, it does start to get warmer again. Temperatures back to normal. 40% rain chance on Friday. Hopefully will be all she wrote to usher in a nice weekend next weekend.
Thanks, Dave. The English prehistoric monument known as Stonehenge has puzzled people for centuries. Now, scientists say they know the origin of the towering boulders. Ian Lee shows us the breakthrough with an American connection.
A layer of mystery is peeled back at Stonehenge, exposing the unknown to the light. A year ago,
here it is.
A seemingly unremarkable rod of rock returned to the historical site. Back then, Susan Greeny saw something different.
It's enabled some analysis that wouldn't have otherwise been able to take place and finally pinpoint exactly where the Sarsen stones came from.
But that chunk of rock initially disappeared. In 1958, the British government commissioned a major restoration project to make Stonehenge safer and to help historians better understand the monument. Workers drilled through the largest of the Sarsen rocks, removing 3 stone cores. Robert Phillips took one home. The rest were discarded.
You can see quite clearly
It was a bit of a homecoming when Phillips's sons returned the family heirloom from the United States.
Where they did the drilling.
Also really exciting that it was a bit of luck, really. You know, the core being returned to us from America just happened to coincide with some geological work that was already taking place.
Geologists traced the 20-ton giants to Westwoods, an area 15 miles north of Stonehenge.
They're pretty much some of the largest Sarsen stones in the whole of southern Britain. So it seems that the people who were building Stonehenge were selecting deliberately large stones.
Why not build Stonehenge where they quarried the stones? Why move them so far?
That's a really good question, and not one that we can really answer at the moment, other than to say that really Stonehenge and the whole landscape around it, which is chock full of lots of other prehistoric monuments, must have been significant. I think there'll always be something of a mystery.
An ancient mystery that keeps the magic of Stonehenge alive.
Coming up in sports, COVID has officially halted the Milwaukee Brewers season. Kelly's in to break down what it means. Coming up.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. The TED event is happening now, where you're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Storm damage happens, and when it does, turn to Peak Construction Roofing, the Northland storm damage experts. Peak simplifies the process for you every step of the way. With our skilled technicians, we quickly survey the situation to determine the best course of action. We offer insurance claims assistance to eliminate insurance confusion. Plus, we offer free storm damage inspections. Call Peak today to set up your free storm damage inspection, and let us take care of you.
Helping to make memories for generations. Numi Jewelers.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host. What? And the stars love it too.
You're so good.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on live local CBS3.
This summer, freshen up lockdown. Keep your mouth shut when a new cast moves into a house.
This is Big Brother.
Cut off from the world.
Why would you do that?
Sounds kind of like a quarantine.
What are the odds?
They'll make new friends, alliances, and enemies.
You do what you gotta do to win Big Brother.
And each week, somebody gets voted out.
These houses better watch out.
And it's also streaming live.
Horror, horror, danger, danger.
Big Brother All-Stars, new season, Wednesday at 9/8 Central on CBS.
Duluth's downtown waterfront district is the heart of our community. So many of the things we love about Duluth can be found right here, from businesses to attractions. And now, most of them are open and working hard so you can safely enjoy them. Our local restaurants, breweries, shops, salons, and attractions help weave the unique fabric of our community. They make us stand out. And when you support them, your dollars stay in our community, helping to boost our economy. Show your love for Duluth's local businesses. We can't wait to see you.
When news happens, CBS3 is there. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news.
Anytime, day or night. More cases of the coronavirus are popping up across the Northland.
The only confirmed cases in northeastern Minnesota.
Not go shopping today unless you absolutely must. Do not collect any supplies or equipment unless you absolutely need it today.
The Northland has seen its first coronavirus-related death.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, tune to CBS3.
When a crisis strikes, cash is the best form of relief. It can easily be transformed into health services, water, food, or clothes. Cash can travel everywhere and aid people all around the world. Donate. Smart. Fast. Donate cash.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on live local CBS3. Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Well, the Milwaukee Brewers were getting set to host the Cardinals in their home opener tonight. That was until 2 members of the 5 Cardinals tested positive for COVID-19, causing the game to officially be postponed. The league released a statement today saying the decision was consistent with protocols to allow enough time for additional testing and contact tracing to be conducted. Today's game has been rescheduled as part of a doubleheader on Sunday, and tomorrow's game will go on as planned. Now, Brewers owner Mark Antanasio says players' safety is first and foremost, but he's still confident the league will be able to finish the season.
How we will handle the coronavirus is a challenge not only for baseball and finishing the season, but it's a challenge for all of us. We've all had to change our lives. We are all committed, I believe, and I've talked to a number of players today, to finishing the season. I'm sure there's a lot of perspectives. From my perspective, the question is how to best proceed so that we can see this season through.
The Twins are on as planned for Game 2 tonight against the Cleveland Indians. First pitch set for 7:10 p.m. Brady Dobnak will start on the mound for the Twins. Meanwhile, it is time for basketball. Last night, the NBA officially returned to our TV screens. Now, before the playoffs begin, the Milwaukee Bucks will have 8 games to determine their seeding. That begins tonight over on ESPN as the team with the best record in the league battles the Boston Celtics in their first game within the NBA bubble. The Bucks enter the restart 6.5 games up on the Raptors for the top seed in the East. They may not have a lot to play for, but these games over the next couple days will give Mike Budenholzer's squad a chance to warm up for the playoffs.
Obviously, I feel like I'm going to be better when the playoffs start. Just being out there makes you better, you know, just playing the game, you feel more comfortable. A lot of situations over and over again, you know how to react in those situations. Personally, I'm just trying to use, you know, these 8 games to get in like playoff shape.
You know, their focus and their effort down here since we've arrived has been really good. I think there's a sense after not playing for 3 or 4 months, I think they want to be sharp, you know, and I think we want to be getting better. So, but certainly Boston will be a good challenge. They do things that make it difficult, so we'll learn and get better.
This one currently in progress at the end of the first. Bucks lead 33-25. And the league is doing what it can to make the games seem as normal as possible, and that includes adding virtual fans. In last night's game, take a look, the league put up shots of fans watching the games on the LED video boards surrounding the courts. Many of those behind the backboards were still trying to distract shooters at the free throw line. 300 fans are pre-screened before they can enter into the game, but they can, or in the virtual game rather, but they can be ejected if they get out of hand. Do with that with what you will. Not only does it look familiar, the idea is to give the players a chance to feed off the energy of the fans who are reacting to the game in real time. You know, I can get on board with that. I cannot get on board with the virtual fans in baseball. It just looks like a Nintendo 64 baseball game. That's going to do it for me. Tony, I'm going to send it back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Kelly. Well, a town in Germany is attracting tons of curious tourists after a crop circle suddenly appeared in a wheat field. People are allowed to walk into the field and take a picture of this strange circle, a perfect geometrical pattern that can only be seen in full shape from above. Crop circle enthusiasts have come up with many theories about what creates the patterns, ranging from the plausible to the absurd. Many believe they are formed by humans, and some have suggested the circles are somehow created by localized and precise wind patterns or by scientifically undetectable Earth energy fields and meridians called ley lines. All right, Dave, hot today, but cool down's on the way, huh?
Exactly, Tony. You know, in the past, at least here in the United States, it's usually people with a sheet of plywood that stomp down those crop circles.
Oh, so you've got the inside scoop.
Has nothing to do with the winds. But
okay,
let's take a look at the 7-day forecast here. Could be a little bit of wind action on Saturday as a 70% chance of showers and storms comes across. In turn, though, it'll go towards the sunny side of life by Sunday again.
We'll see you at 10. Thanks for joining us.